All right, viewers, welcome to Political Mandate with Dele Igbinedion, Part 2. And Honorable, welcome back.
Thank you.
Since you're on a hot seat.
Oh, it's all right. I'm used to it. I'm used to it. I don't think I'm saying anything that I read anywhere. This is just me speaking from my heart.
All right, welcome back. Now, how do you plan? Do you have maybe the intention of running an inclusive government? Maybe calling your political opponents from the other political party when if he eventually wins, as the governor of the state. You have the intention of bringing them together to run an inclusive government.
Okay, that's a good question. First of all, my thoughts about governance, as I've said, are not original with me. They are thoughts that I've gotten from Mr. Peter Obi, who is our mentor, and the national chairman of our party, Barrister Julius
Abure.
Abure, and the Labour Party Constitution and Manifesto. The Labour Party is the only party that has a distinct ideology. Our ideology is social democratic in nature. That is the greatest good for the greatest number of people. Use state resources to improve the lives of people. This is diametrically opposed to the ideology, if you can call it that, of the PDP APC. In their own world, it's the survival of the fittest, I mean, if you can't survive, to hell with you. So that's their own ideology. Strangely, sorry to say. Labour says no, we have to take care of the people. Don't forget that the Labour Party manifesto, the Labour Party ideology, the Labour Party itself was founded by laborers, people who are in labor. You understand me? So the Labour Congress, NLC, founded Labour Party. So our intentions is always to embrace workers, embrace civil servants, embrace the downtrodden, and involve them in the formulation of government policy. So if we have to build, if we win by God's grace, and I believe that there will be people who will be in APC and PDP who will even come to assist us. Even as I'm running, there are lots of them who are, saying to me, look, once you get the ticket, we are with you. Once you get the ticket, we are with you. Because they know that to get a ticket is an internal thing with Labour. So if we have to bring those people, first, it will be a decision of the party and not necessarily my own decision. Because that will be, as you lawyers will say, ultra virus my powers. So it will be a decision of the party. But I know that the party is robust enough. If anyone can come in and embrace this people-centric thinking, why not? Join us.
To run an inclusive government.
Yes, join us if you can, but you must come in to embrace the way we think. We are the voice for the voiceless. We are the voice for the dead. That's what we are in Labour. We are the voice for the common people.
Are you sure the voice is still for the common people? Because there's this dynamic, it seems to be changing, So many persons came into Labour Party as a result of Peter Obi is there.
Yes.
The obedience primarily was built because of Peter Obi.
I agree.
And now the Supreme Court
Yes.
just gave the final ruling today.
Yes.
And everything about Obi's presidential, whatever, dies down today. You can't visit them now till 2027.
Okay.
So many persons now, because, that movement, the obedient movement is a wave, kind of. Let's run to Labour Party and get a ticket to run. This is how people are seeing Labour Party now. Because you feel when you get to Labour Party, because so many people were elected under Labour Party, those that never even expected it.
Yes.
So they got the ticket and they just ran. Surprisingly, they won.
Yes.
Because of Peter Obi. Are you sure now that Peter Obi the ruling was given today, are you sure that force will still be there? Because there are so many youths now that are saying, let's just support the current government and run.
Well, I don't forget about obedience. Well, first of all, I don't see how anyone in his right mind will say, let's support a government that has increased the price of petrol to 600, 620, in some places 700 naira per liter. The suffering is excruciating. Maybe they are not feeling it. So somebody who's not feeling the pain will be able to say, let's support this government. Now, let's talk about the Peter Obi phenomenon. The Peter Obi phenomenon is a movement. And when a movement starts, it hardly ends.
That's so.
When Jesus was crucified on the cross, there were those who thought, he's dead. That's the end of it. But I can assure you that today you have 1,000 Jesuses all over the place. I am a small Peter Obi. If I venture to say, you too, you are a small Peter Obi. So there are lots of people who are small Peter Obis everywhere. Where Peter Obi has replicated himself, his thoughts, his ideas in so many people now that it's not just resident with him. In fact, it's bigger than him. The fact is this: when you have an idea, an ideology, you get to fight the system, the establishment. It will take a while, but we'll get there. We will get there. It's not the fact that the Supreme Court has taken its decision in its wisdom, which we respect, but we don't agree with. So our hearts, our minds is with Peter Obi. And as long as Peter Obi continues to fire on, the obedient movement will continue to support him, believing that one day change will come to Nigeria, hope will come to the Nigerian people, joy will come to the Nigerian people. They will see governance with a different eye. Listen, I was watching recently what had happened when the Palestinian terrorists invaded Israel and killed, civilians. And I was looking at Israeli villages. See the beauty of the villages. See the trees. See the roads. See the gardens. And I compared it to our villages in Nigeria, where we are not even at war. Where we are not even at war. That's our vision. We are not going to give up on it. If they like, they can deliver 20 judgments. We are not going to give up on Peter Obi.
Well, are there any plans in place for human development?
Human development. That is central to the ideals of the Labour Party.
Labour Party.
Because as I said, Labour Party is founded on the ideals of the workers' movement. Training and retraining is part of it. Establishing institutions to develop people is part of it. Exposing people to new opportunities is part of it. And we are going to do all of this. And we are going to do it well, creditably. And the people will be glad that they had a Labour Party government headed by Dele Igbinedion.
Let's look at health.
Health. Yes, let's do that.
What plans do you have in place to reform the current state of our health across the states, if elected as the governor of the state?
Okay, this is central because the welfare of workers, you can't have people coming to work when they are sick, when they are infirm. They won't work. So it's central to its core mandate of the Labour Party is to ensure that the people are well. What we have in Edo State today is an apology. It's abysmal. You can't go to any public health institution outside Benin City and expect to be treated. Where I come from, in Igbanke, we have a medical doctor there who doubles as a doctor in Igbanke and also the doctor at Abudu. One man, two hospitals, far apart. Who does that? One man, two hospitals. Who does that? So we will.
So what will you be doing differently?
First of all, we'll employ doctors.
Okay.
We'll leave the embargo on employment.
Most of these doctors, they are not ready.
They are ready.
They are in government establishments, but they have their own private sectors.
The reason is simple. First of all, government will not pay them. That's one. Two, even when they pay them, there are no equipments in government hospitals for them to use.
So you will be employing more doctors.
Employ more doctors.
That is what you'll be doing differently.
Then this private practice thing will be checked. Right now, we tolerate it. We just leave it. We just accept it. We'll check it.
All right, Honorable. My producer is already telling me that our time is almost running out. But let's take this last question before we go. How do you intend to cut down the flamboyant, extravagant life of government officials?
Well, I think that's
Or is it still going to be a different thing where you come in
no,
as the
no,
governor of the
definitely
state?
not.
So how do you
Definitely not.
intend to cut it down?
Well, first of all, look, Mr. Peter Obi has taught us a lot of beautiful things. First of all, if you go to government house is not a place of entertainment. It's not a place where you don't eat. You wake up in the morning, you don't take breakfast. You say, when I get to government house, I'm going to eat. So look, in America, if I visit the American president and he gives me dinner, he pays for it from his pocket. It's not paid for by the American government. That's what happens in America. Why should we, as a nation, as a state, always have buffet? Buffet. You just take everything you can eat, throw the rest away. What? Why should somebody go to government house to drink alcohol and get drunk? All of that we will reduce it. We will reduce it. We will reduce it or eradicate it. Only where necessary. I give you another example. Recently, and I'm not being critical here, the state government launched the John Edwige Oyegun Academy, something. And you could see, just to commission. I don't even know what that means. You are commissioning. Because all the years I lived in England, there was never any commissioning of any train station by any government official. Who has the money for that? But here we are commissioning just a hall and offices. That's all. Finish. With furniture, of course, tables and chairs. So we invite people from all over Nigeria. We print banners, we print billboards, we have these flyers, then we paint everywhere. We do roads, we pay security, we pay all this just because you want to commission a hall.
Yeah, that's what some persons want.
Who wants that?
Like the former governor of River State, anything he does, you bring people to come and commission, and you carry media excessive, spending the people money.
It's not a labor man.
Okay.
It's not a labor man. I'm a labor man. I would rather take that money and invest it on our workers, and invest it on our people, and buy medicines for our hospitals, buy books, buy chairs and tables, build schools. I would rather do that. Build roads than invite you to come and eat just because I want to commission a hall or a television station. For goodness sake, if you build a television station, open it let the people start using it. So until you cut a tape, nobody's going to use it. I mean, why are we living like animals? We don't reason. I went to England over a space of 6 months. I went first, and then 6 months later I went. So when I went the first time, I used the train. There's a normal train route that I use from Heathrow Airport to southeast of England, where I stay. So and I went back again 6 months later, and I tried to use that station. And then they asked me, "Why are you going that route?" I said, because I was carrying my luggage, and it's quite. So they said, "No, go and use. They call it the Queen Elizabeth line. So there's a Queen Elizabeth line instead of the Piccadilly line." So I asked them why. They said, "Oh, it's a new one." So, to cut it short, I went to the Queen Elizabeth line. That line takes underground. They built it in 6 months. Underground, under people's houses.
6 months.
6 months under people's houses, and it came up where it came up in Woolwich, Arsenal. I could just walk to my house. 6 months. There is no commissioning, nothing, no ceremony. I didn't even hear about it. When it was ready, they just had a date. They opened the door, and you are welcome. Go in and take it.
But before we go, Honorable, yes. I want you to speak to Edo people. Why you think you are the right person come 2024? Talk to them. They're watching.
First of all, I've always been doing the things that I'm saying now. I've lived in Edo for about 15 years now. I practice law here. I studied here. I went to school here. I am what you call a typical homeboy. I'm not somebody who is just coming in from Lagos or coming in from Abuja pretending to know the problems. I know the problems. I have children who are in both private and government schools. And by children, I mean both my biological children and those are adopted, and those I'm in law, we call it in loco parentis. Those I'm helping. who, because of underprivilege, I have to take up their responsibility. They are all my children. So some are in private school, some are in public school. I use the roads. I drive myself. I use the road. Now, the difference between me and every other person is that I have political experience. I have been a voice for the people, and I will continue to be a voice for the people. I'll continue to stand with the people. All the things I have done as a human rights lawyer, I will practicalize them. This is not a movie. Let people not think that we can suffer. Our suffering is enough in Edo. Why should we continue to suffer when God has blessed us with such abundance of resources? Why? That's the question I ask. And I say our suffering must come to an end. And it ends when we pick the right person to become governor. The person who has a heart for the people. And that person is Dele Igbinedion.
All right, viewers, having the right heart for the people, that is the only way we can actually curb this hunger. That has been Political Mandate with Honorable Dele Igbinedion, and I've been your host, May Yusuf. Thanks for watching.
The champion, the lion is here. Ewele, my people, time don't reach you. Make we go take the change the government for Edo State, Edo 2024. Edo 2024, the gubernatorial race for our dear state. It don't hear. As it don't hear finish like this, my brother and sisters, my people, good people of the state. I want just let you know, say the man will now go nominate, will now give him a mandate, will now go support. Now him they call Mr. Dele Igbinedion for gubernatorial race, Edo 2024. Now do.